Hello. I hope you are all doing well. Have you ever found yourself wishing that you were better at talking? That you wouldn't lose your nerve when in a group where no one knows you? Or perhaps when you are at an event, you feel lost when others ask about you. We find ourselves making excuses, stammering, but most all, wishing we were anywhere but there. It doesn't have to be that way, you see. We feel good when someone laughs due to a joke we make. In an inverse situation, we feel bad when someone laughs at us. When something negative happens that makes us feel left out, we tend to take less risks, don't talk to anyone new, and never try to step out of our comfort zone. This is due to the fear of that same negativity entering our life again, and thus, our confidence takes a big hit. Building up confidence is an important factor in approaching new people. As you do not know what their behaviors could be, you tend to think of the response to your attempts as negative, even before you give the situation a chance. Confidence in taking the first step is crucial. A leading psychologist brought out a study which showed how some poses increased confidence. Basically, those people who take up space or adopt some of these poses that release tension are more likely to be confident and less taxed. Another way to increase confidence is thinking of the task you are wary of doing. Mentally exercising is a tried and tested method of practicing for anything. Never go to events with a friend, a coworker, or a family member. Go alone, so you're left no other choice but to meet other people. If you go with someone you know, you're more likely to stay and talk to the person you already know you can have conversations with. Also, you never know what your companion will know. What if some of their coworkers show up and they leave you to go say hello? You might be left on your own anyway, so you need to get ready to be left on your own. Once you're at an event all by yourself, never wait for someone to come up and talk to you. People are called social butterflies because they move around a lot and meet others. Standing in the corner hoping someone will approach you won't get anyone to talk to you. Don't psych yourself out and think it is a big deal. Introducing yourself is the only way you can meet someone new. Get out in the crowd and socialize. No one ever wants to get stuck in a boring conversation. If you start with a bland pickup line or a boring comment about the weather, don't be angry when the other person rolls their eyes or walks away. Lines like these don't leave much room to encourage people to socialize. They're more like standalone statements than they are conversation starters. Likewise, it's best to stay far away from political or religious openers. Even if these topics are trending, you never know what might rub someone the wrong way. Wait until you really know the person to discuss hard-hitting topics. If you can't think of something that you can say, just start with a hello, how are you, and see where it goes from there. Most people's preferred topics are themselves. Even if you don't have an enjoyable opener, you can always ask people to chat about themselves, and they'll be more than happy to assist you. Ask what they do for a living, where they're from, or what they studied in school. If you get someone talking about their interests, you'll see their true natures come through. They'll be delighted to share their hobbies, and you might find that you have something in common. Everyone wants to talk about themselves, but they also like to learn about others. If you ask too many questions of a new acquaintance, they might feel like you're prying or giving them the third degree. Plus, if you share some of your interests, that might trigger something they never considered to share. Who knew you both fancied collecting stamps from South Africa? Learning about your new companion and sharing knowledge about yourself should usually lead to discovering some mutual interests. Focus on these and discuss them. You never know when you'll learn something unique. At the very least, you could find a new buddy to share this hobby with. If you don't have any common interests, don't fret. Not every stranger you meet is meant to become your brand new best friend. You still got this far in the chat, so pat yourself on the back. Notwithstanding of why you're attempting to meet new people, don't feel pressure to obtain a pocketful of new buddies. If you're terrified of failure or feel like you must meet someone new, you'll come across as aggressive. If someone doesn't want to talk to you, let them walk off without being stubborn and trying to keep them occupied with yourself. Be laid back and go with the flow. It will make you seem friendly and easy to talk to, which means you'll have better conversations and be more likely to have other people approach you and talk to you. If your voice cracks or your handshake is sweaty, laugh it off. If you're an amateur entertainer and can make it into a joke, point it out and get people giggling with you. If it's something that makes you feel less certain, just disregard it. Everyone gets timid sometimes, so push past and proceed with the conversation. Don't let it trip you up or hinder you enough that you have to walk away. Above all, be yourself. If you're striving too hard to please everyone, you'll come across as flaky, and no one will want to talk to you. It's too much effort to be everything to everyone, so be yourself, and, above all, enjoy yourself. People will take notice and be attracted to you. Whether the conversation is a flop or a victory, know when to wrap it up. If you understand early on that you don't want to keep chatting with someone, find a smooth, painless way to move on and meet someone different. If you have a great conversation and hit it off, tell your brand new friend that you have to go, but you'd love to match up again sometime. Get a phone number or email address and leave the event high on your own achievement. Usually, the person with whom you are seeking to start a conversation with will have some unique aspect of themselves. Perhaps it is an object of jewelry, an unusual shirt, or maybe even a tattoo. Something unique that tells a story about the person. Things like this give you an opening point for conversation. Say something like, "Nice, that is a lovely pendant. What kind of stone is that?" "Nice shirt, so you're a Grateful Dead fan?" "No way. Is that a tattoo of Yoda on your arm?" Be sure to avoid anything too private as a starting point, or you're likely to annoy the other person. Don't ask if that is her actual hair color or if he is a regular at the gym. After you get a response, have something else to say that will give you a common stand on which to build a conversation and a connection. Before you start, think of a follow-up story. That is the key to developing a conversation. Follow up with something slightly intimate that relates to the other person and that tells him or her something intriguing about you. The only place I've ever seen anything like that pendant was once at a market in India. My father was a true deadhead. He drove me to see them when I was a kid. I love tattoos. I've been considering getting one, but I'm not sure what to get. How did you settle on Yoda? All of these comments help connect you to the person and keep the conversation running. Remember, the aim is not to say the ideal thing or come across a specific way, but to open the opportunity for more discussion. What high school did you attend? I was in the marching band. Did you play an instrument? Where do you work? I've been to that Starbucks. As you go through the details of the other person's life story, feel free to go off on tangents. Remember, you don't really want to find out if you've met before. You want to get to know more about the other person. Make a funny comment. One of the best ways to start a conversation is to make a funny comment about your surroundings. Doesn't our instructor look like Harry Potter? Is it just me, or is the guy in the front row asleep? The goal is not to be mean-spirited or judgmental, so be sure to keep your comments positive. Then, try to invite the other person in on the joke. Know that the method of starting a conversation can be risky. Humor is difficult with someone you don't know well. However, if you find someone who shares your sense of humor, chances are that it will be the start of a great friendship. Think of this period as a time of testing the waters to find people who think the same way that you do. Remember that any of these tricks can fail some of the time. If you don't receive a positive response from someone, there are always other people whom you can approach. If you are persistent, over time it will get easier to speak with strangers. As you become more confident and at ease, you won't need to rely on tricks to start conversations. Researches on conversations and social anxiety. A 2016 study showed that people with social anxiety tend not to contribute equally to conversations and as a result are less well-liked. There are two possible reasons why you might not contribute equally in a conversation. Because your anxiety makes you too uncomfortable and self-conscious to talk, or because you are lacking experience in making conversation and social skills. In most cases, people fall into the first category. It's not that you are lacking in social skills or don't know how to hold up your end of a conversation. In fact, with people you know well, e.g., close friends or family, you might even be a chatterbox. Rather, being self-conscious and anxious is what holds you back from being your true self in a conversation. In that case, it's important to work on your anxiety so that you can have better conversations. If, on the other hand, you feel that you are actually lacking in social skills simply because you haven't had enough experience being around other people, it might be helpful to pick up some self-help books on how to build your social skills. As another example, a second 2016 study on eye contact showed that individuals with social anxiety tend to make less eye contact during conversation. If you have trouble making eye contact, try to make it a goal to work on this social skill to improve your conversations and appear friendlier to others, thus inviting further conversations. Having new friends brings a lot of joy into your life. Some might even change it for the better. Who knows, the person you met after reading this might be there for you in your most trying times. If you got fired, he or she would be the one to offer you a job. Friends bring a lot of memories into your life, and they're worth every penny. The stranger you met 10 years ago in a coffee shop 10 years ago might be your best friend now. I hope you liked the video. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Thanks for watching the video.